What got you from investing to training? So it's one thing going out, implementing stuff, getting some results yourself, but then the shift to teaching other people and wanting to teach other people. What do you think created that?
I know exactly what created that. What created that was Training Kings, my Christian business network. That, you remember that back in the day?
First met, yeah.
Yeah. That was
about 8-9 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
That was it. So after I started getting a bit of success from a Christian background, my church, the whole idea of being a millionaire and also being in church and being a religious person didn't gel. So I felt very judged by a lot of people, by a lot of Christians. And I noticed that there was a lot of people in the church that were being banged over the head, told to be on the Sunday school,
right,
rather than being released into the marketplace, making money, and then actually growing the church and making the world a better place. So I went to Bible college for 3 years, age 20, 21, 22, and I studied biblical economics. And when I did my dissertation in biblical economics, it released me from this whole nonsense, this subconscious sabotaging over success because of stupid spirituality. I just let go of it, and I started becoming very successful, and I felt a moral obligation to go back into the churches and find people that were entrepreneurial and actually say, hey, if you're entrepreneurial, guess what? That's okay.
Yeah.
And I set up a little network called Training Kings, which you remember, and it was a place for people to get together, not just Christians, but people that were religious or people that, wanted to set up charities, whatever it is, but struggled with this whole mental idea of being wealthy. And that was why I set it up, just to teach my findings. And that grew pretty big. We had 14 branches across the UK.
Right.
It was non-for-profit. I wasn't making any money. That's another thing as trainers. A lot of people think, oh, training's easy money. Yeah, no, it's quite hard actually. And you're a trainer. You could probably back me up on that. Didn't make any money doing Training Kings, but it was a mission for me.
Okay.
And a lot of people that were coming to Training Kings were saying, you made your money in property, right? Can you talk about property? So Training Kings kind of became a Christian business network, but then it slowly transformed into a property education school.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened organically. But as a trainer, I actually lost money. First year, lost money. Second year, lost money. Third year, lost money.
Yeah.
Fourth year, lost money.
This is in the training, property training.
This is in training, full stop.
Yeah.
Business.
Why do you think that was the case? Why do you think, because some people think, oh, it's huge money in training.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you think for 3-4 years it didn't make any money?
I think he didn't make any money because, well, for a start, there wasn't loads of people coming. I needed more members.
Yeah.
But I continued because it was a mission. And people don't realise the overheads of businesses. Yeah. People don't see this. They'll just go, oh, there's 20 people in the room and they all paid £100. That's £2,000. Yeah, and the room cost us £4,000.
Yeah. Venue cost, food, everything else.
Catering.
Yeah.
When I put on an event, it costs like $100,000 sometimes if it's a decent event.
Yeah, big event.
Just the point of, and that's just for the room hire and the speakers and and then you got the staff. So, and although I knew how to run a property business, I didn't know about how to run a training business.
Yeah.
I didn't know about, I didn't know lots of things. And I was a young guy. I was only, when I set Training Kings up, I was about 22.
Right.
I was a young guy.
Yeah.
But it was a mission for me. And I think that's what's made me so successful in property, is the fact that I'm not just in it just to make money. Even with property deals, my first lease option agreement, which I secured when I was a teenager, the guy couldn't sell his house. He was in negative equity. I'm trying to persuade him to rent it out himself.
Yeah.
Why don't you rent it out? You're mad. And he's like, oh, I don't want to be a landlord. And I ended up getting it on a lease option agreement. But if I'd have just gone in there and said, I'll do a lease option agreement, he'd probably said no. He'd probably go, oh, well, I can rent it out myself.
Yes.
When you are in business to genuinely try and help people and genuinely adding value and adding a service and making the world better, then, and that's what, if you look at the richest guys, like Elon Musk, and Elon Musk doesn't need to work.
No.
He's a multi-billionaire. People can't comprehend how rich that actually is. So why is he obsessed with working? It's because he's on a mission to try and improve things, make things better.
Achieve
And that's,
something,
Albert Einstein says, if you try and be successful, you might fail. But he says, don't try and be successful, try and be valuable, because the success will always follow the value. And I think that's just naturally, because of my background and how I grew up, that's naturally how I run my business, even with like HMOs. My first HMO in Birmingham.
Probably not very far from here.
Not far from here. No, Maryvale Road. Maybe 10 minutes from here. But like, I know there's a lot of HMO landlords where their whole mindset is, how can I squeeze as much profit as possible and buy it, let it, forget it, all this stuff. Oh, tenants. Oh, I'm allergic to my tenants. I'm like, what? They're your customers.
They're paying you every month. Yeah.
So when I got my first HMO, I remember thinking, I want to make this the best experience for them. I want them to be so happy. And then they start telling their friends, oh, come in, there's a room empty, and it's just full all the time now. You know, so add value, success follows. That's the motto of my life.
So as your training business has then grown 3-4 years, and where would you say you are on the scale of property training success now? There's only a handful of large property training companies.
Well, we're undoubtedly the largest, you know, but I mean, there's other trainers.
How do you measure that?
Well, in terms of the students that we have,
the number of people.
Yeah, we get thousands of people through the doors every month, and I don't think anyone comes close to that. However, it's like, for me, it's not even about I'm not trying to create big numbers. I'm trying to create big people. So I couldn't care less if there's somebody that's like 10 times as big as me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, for me, I don't care. I think that I'm just, for me, my success from my training side of things comes from the success stories.
Yes.
You know, seeing people every week leaving their jobs, becoming financially independent, becoming property millionaires every week, and then the rippling effect that has. You know, for me, that's really what it's about, as opposed to just trying to be the biggest, because who cares?